here I wanted to alert you to differances between version 16 and version 18 in the Fluent interface. There have been some differences which are for the most part cosmetic. So as you're going through the videos recorded in version 16 and trying to implement in 18.2, you can watch out for these differences. To open a menu, you now have to double click on it. Previously it was, it just highlighted it. So if you double click on something, it'll open that menu and so on. And then if you want to, so for instance, here, in this particular video under startup, I go in and I display surfaces and look at what these surfaces are, which are really, lines. The boundaries are lines and so on. And so let me bring that up. So I'll go under general and I'll go to display. And here, okay, I could select and deselect surfaces over here in the old version. In the new version, it looks like this. So these two options correspond to these two options. So if I want to deselect all surfaces, I click on that. I select all surfaces. But anyway, you can just click or unclick the surfaces to display them. So for instance, if I want to display the center line, I highlight that and I'll see that in the window. So that's a minor difference. And if I want to zoom in on a surface, for instance, in the old version, the zoom option was over here under the main menu, but now it's been moved to over here. So if I want to zoom in, I'll select that, and then I can draw a rectangle and so on. When you go into the boundary conditions options and other menus too, so let me go into boundary conditions and say outlet, you will see that there are extra options like pressure profile multiplier. You can ignore them. There's also been some changes in nomenclature, and again, these are quite slight. So for instance, under solution, you had solution methods previously, now you have methods. Previously you had solution controls, now you have controls and so on. So I think you can figure out since the changes are pretty minor. And then when you have multiple things being displayed, so for instance, the mesh or the convergence plot and so on, which you look at later. Previously, it was a drop-down menu, and now it's a tab. It's a tab thing. These are in different tabs, which is more convenient. So you will see, so for the most part, the differences are minor and they're cosmetic. Things have been moved around. There's been slight changes in the nomenclature. The drag coefficient implementation has changed, and there, I've created a new video. And also look for annotations within the video to highlight differences in the new version, and also look at the FAQ and also at the discussion board.